This is Paul. Yeah. I'm sitting here, kind of having one of those types of days where I feel like I just can't do anything. I woke up late this morning. Then, had some problems. I got to mow the lawn today. Yeah. And I got to thinking about why is it that I don't have my constitutional rights? Sent a lot of emails, and I went through the court documents yesterday. I did a somewhat more thorough look at exactly what the state of Washington has done. Then I looked at my rights as a father, and then I looked at the employees of the federal government, of the city governments, and their obligation to inform those that are judges or those in law enforcement when they have any knowledge of a felony. Now, when you issue a protection order where I wasn't given actual notice and opportunity to be heard, well, in 2011, 2015, and you didn't have the petitioner sign it, seemed like the state of Washington wasn't doing what their own laws require. Then the state of Washington decided to be the plaintiff, and I was a defendant, and they decided that they were going to prosecute me. When I had emailed those in law enforcement about I started out with Article 3 of the state constitution, my right to due process. Now, some people say, well, is it really a felony? Well, when you really start looking at the laws, when you violate the civil rights of American citizens, yeah. When you arrest somebody without jurisdiction, and then you have forgeries on the documents that were used by the state of Washington to have me arrested, yeah. And you hold my sons hostage and kidnapped for the last 6 years because my constitutional right to due process has been violated approximately 16 times before court hearings. I think there really is some felonies in all of this. Now, I'm not an attorney. I mean, I'm sitting here on the street asking myself, well, why don't I have my family right now? It seemed like those that are employees of every city, county, state, and the federal government think that they can know of a felony without actually reporting it to law enforcement. Then law enforcement seems to think that they don't have to enforce the laws. Now, as a civil service employee, you can be discharged, fired from employment for misprision of felony and misprision of treason. Yes! Now, treason only takes 2 witnesses to say that any person that is a sworn oath that did not or would not enforce the Constitution of the United States. And I've been through that Constitution, and maybe I should look at it again today. But in my personal life, I know that all 10 amendments. Now, when I sent that email, I sent it to about 1,500 different persons that probably of them, maybe 95% of them actually have the legal liability for the enforcement of the law. Just having the knowledge of a forgery on court documents is a felony. Now, when I inform law enforcement that I want the laws of the United States enforced, and instead they decide, well, we just don't have to do anything. State of Washington can violate its own laws. State of Washington can violate federal laws. In fact, the state of Washington can violate every constitution of the United States and the United States Constitution. Now, there are a lot of employees in the federal government that actually do know about the felony of issuing a protection order where the petitioner didn't sign it. I was not given notice and opportunity to be heard, and there are numerous problems with those documents. Now, when you deprive Americans of their right to life, liberty, and property without due process, when you deprive Americans of the equal protections of the law and the privileges and immunities in the United States Constitution, there are multiple felonies involved in this whole case. Now, for every employee of the federal government that thinks that they don't have to do anything, they're going to be sorely mistaken. Just having the knowledge of a felony can be misprision of felony. Pooh! Now I know a little county court system seems to think they can do whatever they want. But when it involves the laws of the United States and those that are employed in the government of the United States, those employees of the federal government, if they have knowledge of any felonies, can be sued, fired, and everything they own can be taken. Now, it would be nice if this little county courthouse would stop thinking like they're going to get away with murder!